Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mangyalin. Homage to Master Sakyajima. And homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukdam Dorje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the primordial Adharma Buddha's transformation body, Mahodara Heruka, and the 100 peaceful and wrathful deities. Homage to them all with great reverence. Sư phụ Tan Chân Katso, Trutan Siddhi, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. How do you do?
Hola amigo. Hola amigo. Me queda mucho. Me queda mucho. Estoy. Ichiban. Kimochi. Shumi. Yapi. Pling. Konnichiwa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now I would like to announce for next Sunday, September 20th at 3 p.m. Yellow money cut. Yellow Jambala. Fire offering ceremony. Very simple. If you don't want money, you don't need to become primary supplicants. Let's tell a joke to start. A group of Sangha members, a pair of Sangha members. How come they say a pair? Because usually it's a male and female. And then the guru told the disciple, "Hey, disciple, we cannot eat meat, so why did you order a beef noodle soup?" And the disciple told the teacher, "But the beef comes from cows who eat vegetarian, so that's vegetarian beef. It's okay then." I find something rather different. The difference between Tantrayana and Mahayana Buddhism. In Mahayana Buddhism, they can only eat vegetarian food, and some have even stricter precepts. They cannot touch money. Therefore, when they accept or when they get money, they use chopsticks. And the rules in Mahayana is that you have to forbid women. So you block all senses, so you don't see, you don't hear, you don't smell, you don't taste, and you should not touch. They are prohibited. So they cut off all the desire. But in Tantric Buddhism, you eat some food, for the importance of the health of body and mind. So there's no taboo about food. No restriction, no food restriction. And for sex, proactive love group, which means naturally, being natural. There's no prohibition. That's a very high realm. So there's not so-called animal or plant products. Affinities come and buy according to destiny. So they come without expectations and they go without attachments. So being free and no attachments, no bondage, like spoken in the Heart Sutra. That is the main point of Tantrayana. However, this is actually very profound. Like I said last night, whatever you do is Buddha Dharma. Executing or applying, implementing love is also Buddha Dharma. So how do you use the Buddha Dharma? How do you apply the Buddha Dharma? So you can only know through the transmission by the Guru. What is secret? Without a transmission and teachings from the Guru, you don't know anything. So if you do it, then you are just a mundane being. if you have been ordained or you have violated precepts, and with yellow collars you violate the precepts, and without the yellow collars, as soon as you don the Lama robe, you're violating the precepts. Whether you can transcend it and enter into the realm of naturalness. So we talked about no concerns, but in Mahayana Buddhism, about animal food or plant food, that's a kind of concern, and the prohibition against women is also a kind of concern. So everything is a concern. How can we be free from concerns whatsoever? Is by merging into the primordial or the intrinsic naturalness. But there's some tricks in there, some formulas and secrets in spiritual cultivation. Anyone who has not received empowerment from the lineage root guru is violating precepts. And if you don't merge into the naturalness, if you don't know to practice the Buddha Dharma while doing it, all violating the precepts and will fall into the Vajra hells. So I'm teaching about the Tantric Dharma. Although Tantrayana is different from Mahayana Buddhism, spiritual cultivation through Mahayana Buddhism is through prohibition in order to purify the body and mind. But the tantric practices are through naturalness, with no concerns and worries whatsoever, in order to purify. Different methods, but for the same goal. Now we will continue the question and answer. From Singapore, Liên Hoa Huy Xia. Dear Grandmaster, how do you do? How should I visualize when I chant Tribuddha Sutra so that I can receive spiritual response from the sutra? When I chant the sutra, I visualize Grandmaster and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds radiating light upon myself. Will this visualization do? How to visualize when we chant Tribuddha Sutra? Actually, I don't teach people to visualize when chant Tribuddha Sutra. So when you chant, you are mindful of the scene of the True Buddha Assembly. So the question asked by Liên Hoa Huy Xia from Singapore is okay. You can visualize Padma Kumara and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds, radiating light upon the practitioner. That kind of visualization is fine. Visualizing the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at the True Buddha Assembly would be fine. The second question from Indonesia. Silian. How do you pronounce that? Jin. Reverend, the Venerable Amitabha. I pray that Grandmaster would be healthy, stay in samsara to turn the Dharma wheel to widely deliver sentient beings. I sincerely entreated Grandmaster to answer my question. In His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Sheng's book number 276, Notes from the South Mountain Retreat, in one of the articles, quote, the Buddha told Sariputra, end quote, it was written, quote, Sariputra asked, what is the most supreme offering to the Tathagatas? Manjushri replied, 1. Bodhisattva heart or bodhicitta. 2nd, delivering all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation. 3rd, not breaking the lineage of the 3 jewels. 4th, purifying all the Buddha lands. My question is on the second answer of Manjushri, quote, delivering all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation, unquote. Grandmaster, you once said that there are 3 inabilities of a Buddha, i.e., inability to deliver those without affinity, the inability to transform fixed karma, and the inability to completely deliver all sentient beings. So, how could one deliver all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation? Of course, saying to deliver all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation is the most difficult thing, because a Buddha also has 3 inabilities: the inability to deliver those without affinity, the inability to transform fixed karma, and the inability to completely deliver all sentient beings. So how could one deliver all sentient beings to the ultimate liberations? My answer is impossible. It's impossible for all sentient beings to be ultimately delivered. Even the Buddha cannot do so. However, the meaning of Manjushri's answers there's a special meaning to this deliver all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation. First point is that just do your best. Give your best effort. That's it. If you comprehend Buddha Dharma, then you teach others. That's delivering all sentient beings. Whether the sentient beings will be liberated or not, that's the issues of those sentient beings. If you share what you know about Buddha Dharma to sentient beings, that already complies to the delivering all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation. So this is benefiting yourself and also benefiting others. In my opinion, just do your best. If you have the intent, that's good enough. So as Buddhists, as bhikshus or bhikshunis, monks, nuns, masters or venerables have to have this kind of mind. You cannot just benefit yourself and not others. If someone asks you to do something and you say no, and because I'm sleeping now, because I'm practicing now, or I have other things to do, you reject anyone coming to find you, then you already violate this point number 2. You have violated the first point, which is you don't have bodhicitta or bodhisattva heart, and second, you don't have empathy toward sentient beings, and third, you already broken the lineage of the 3 jewels, and the fourth, you're not purifying all the Buddha lands. So you violated all 4 of them. So if you're ordained, your body now belongs to sentient beings. If you're a spiritual cultivator, your body belongs to sentient beings. You have to serve sentient beings. Then it's called you have bodhisattva heart. If you say no, then you already violated the precepts. And it's a grave violation. And if you do your best, you give your best effort to serve sentient beings, that's the same as delivering all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation. Very simple. Manjushri Bodhisattva spoke on this. It has a special, profound meaning to it. If you're not liberated yourself, how can you deliver all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation? Because you know that the greatest Dharma in the world is Buddha Dharma, and you're not liberated yet you teach Buddha Dharma to other people. That's the same as delivering all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation. That's my explanation. And Manjushri's third answer, not breaking the lineage of 3 jewels. Do the 3 jewels refer to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? Yes, 3 jewels are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. In the past, there were a family from Europe carrying their luggages, taking the bus near our Siatalitsang temple. There's a bus stop a little bit down the road there, near Sammamish Lake Sammamish. So he, with his family, old and young, and they got off the bus and they made a phone call to the Siatalitsang temple and said, we have lots of luggages, so could you please drive us to the temple? And a Dharma teacher, a venerable, replied, we are very precious. Only the lay practitioners serve us, not us serving lay practitioners. Those people came from Europe, young and old, getting off the bus, and yet we dejected driving them to the temple. So finally they lugged in the luggages to the temple with hardship. They were planning to stay at the temple for 1 month originally, but then they left the next day. So I was talking about this at the Dharma teaching to criticize the person who got the phone call saying that there's no way that bhiksu or bhikshuni serve a lay practitioners, that they are already violated this delivering all sentient beings to the ultimate liberation and already broken the lineage of the three jewels. You are no jewels whatsoever, no sangha. You have no bodhicitta. You have no empathy for others. You're not delivering sentient beings, but you're blocking sentient beings. You have violated grave precepts. So the three jewels refer to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And Sangha is the monks and nuns. The Sangha should embrace the Dharma and apply the Dharma. And how to apply the Dharma? Where is the bodhicitta? So, where is the deliverance of sentient beings to the ultimate liberation? So you think you're precious. How about others? Others are lower than you are. You have no mind of equality. Are you purifying the Buddha lens? No, you're contaminating the Buddha lens. So the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are the three jewels. And the Sangha is the upholder of the Buddha and Dharma. And for Manjushri's fourth answer, purifying all the Buddha lands. The Buddha lands were originally pure, so how would one purify the Buddha lands? If you purify yourself, that's purifying the Buddha lands. Now do you understand? In the future, if you're not pure, even if you go to the Western paradise or the Buddha land of utmost bliss, because you are impure, you contaminate the Buddha land. The Buddha lands were originally pure, but because you are not pure, that's why you want to purify yourself first in order to purify the Buddha lands, or in order to keep the Buddha lands pure. So those who are not pure, those who do not benefit others, they all contaminate the Buddha lands. The impure body, speech and mind, not having bodhicitta, blocking sentient beings to cultivate spiritually, being selfish and egotistical. We don't want them. Only for your self-important. You don't have bodhisattva heart. You're not even qualified to be an arhat. Although an arhat does not deliver sentient beings, but they can abide by the precepts to purify themselves. Someone come to you to ask for something and you don't help them and you're being selfish. If you are selfish, it's impossible. If you have ego or egotistical, it's impossible for you to become a bodhisattva or to attain Buddhahood. The next question from Taiwan Lianhua Isu. There was a period of time where I applied your teaching on the visualization of the revolution of a mantra wheel and its character one by one. Visualizing the characters one by one, I would first visualize to unite with Guru Padmakvara, then visualize the whole mantra wheel and that it was radiating light. Then I chanted the mantra until the characters increase its brightness and its light revolves following the sound. There were times during recitation, all the mantra syllables disappear suddenly. In its place, a plate of white light appeared and it emitted mist like dried ice. I continued to focus on the white light. The mist gradually disappeared. The light plate gradually enlarged, and in a split of a second, I entered into the infinite light. At that moment, I didn't hear anything, didn't feel anything, so I got scared. Right away, I chanted the Root Guru mantra and restarted the visualization of the mantra wheel revolution again. And after a while, I was still amidst the light radiance. Afterwards, I started to feel scared of not being able to come back. Finally, I heard the sound of a small rock falling into water and gradually came out from the light radiance. I thought I was falling asleep, but I realized I was still chanting the mantra and my hands were still counting the beats. However, my whole body felt the sensation of a very strong electric current. It was tingling. My questions are, can we practice the mantra wheel according to the visualization I described above? Yes. Second, what phenomena is my experience above? That's entering into concentration, meditation. I later found myself worried that after entering into the light regions, I wouldn't be able to get out of it. That's even better if you cannot get out. If you get out, that's human world. If you enter, that's Buddha land. That's Pure Land. If you cannot get out, what are you so attached to the human world? Are you still longing to your wife or wanting to eat chicken rice or what? What are you? What are you? Why are you reluctant to leave? About your money? So what phenomena is my experience above? That's entering into meditation. But I later found myself worried that after entering into the light regions, I wouldn't be able to get out. Why do you want to get out? The longer you can stay in the light radiance, the better. You start from 5 minutes to 25 minutes. If you can sit for 25 minutes a time, or a few hours in one sitting, or once the whole day, means no concerns in your mind or heart. You just let it be. It's light radiance. Then you should not be concerned. Please advise how I should handle it. Why do you have to handle it? You're already in meditation. There's no need to handle it, do anything about it. Just let it be natural. In that realm, you just let it be. Don't fall asleep. You're seated inside the light radiance, no feelings, no sensations, but the electric current is strong because the light radiance is like electric currents. and all of a sudden you see smoke. You saw smoke. Don't you remember my Lamdre teaching? The first one that you would see is smoke. The white smoke, not the ones outside now. That's PM 2.5. That's smog. That's very good. From Taiwan, that he can visualize using the visualization. This is the method of Vajra chanting. And then see the smoke, a plate of white light, and mist like dried ice, like dry ice. And then he enters into the light radiance. This is meditation. Very good. Many people are scared of ghosts. Grandmaster is not afraid of ghosts. Actually, around us, there are always a group of ghosts. What kind of ghost? The 7th lunar month is here. There's no need to be scared. There are lots of ghosts around us. Now, this play of words of Chinese. The jerk, it's actually like the jerk. All kinds of jerk. Selfish jerk. These are all contaminants. As a spiritual cultivator, we should have good interpersonal relationship. And disgusting jerk. If you are helpful, then you don't become selfish jerk. And if you don't become a arrogant jerk, if you are empathetic toward others, and if you have wisdom, then you don't become the dumb jerk. Tell a joke about the selfish jerk. Xiaoming said that my shampoo is Sashin. And Xiaopao said, I use Alan's brand. And Xiaoming said, and I bathe. And Xiaopao said, I use stove as my bathing soap. And Xiaoming said, I only use Alan. Is there Alan brand for shampoo? Xiao Zhu said that he used Sessions shampoo, and Xiaoming said, I use Allen's brand. I use Allen's. And then they said, oh, I use a Dove. And Xiao said that I use Nini's facial cleanser. And Xiaoming replied, I always use Allen's. Is Allen's a Japanese brand? And Xiaoming said that Allen is my roommate. So he just used other people's stuffs. So he's very selfish. It's okay if you just borrow a little bit, but if you always use other people's stuff, that's not good. Dad asked Xiaoming, how many years is Chinese history? Xiaoming said, 5,000 years. That's correct. And Dad slapped him. That when I was in school, the Chinese history was 5,000 years. How come it's still 5,000 years now? That's why he slapped Xiaoming. Today we will talk about Lamdre. The 5 spiritual experiences of increasing the 5 kinds of power. The verse, earth, water, fire, and wind, refers to the abiding at the basic position through the methods of Dakini Samaya. The verse, quote, the mind, chi, etc. assimilates its blessings by the methods of wisdom Dakini. Especially by the fire qi to empower and harmonize the other qi and bodhicitta is referred as the increase of the fire qi. Upon the inner start of affinity, everything in the 3 worlds of the outer start of affinity appears as fire. The phenomena arisen, the dream sensation, one sees the image of big city on fire as stated in the verse. The 3 worlds on fire appears, and in the bodily spiritual experience, one feels that the whole body and the skin pores are hot. So the fire qi is actually talking about the inner fire. Therefore, I once said, if you use the breathing practice, you can feel warmth in a snowy day, and you wear only underwear. So the masters, the reverends, wearing only underwear and sit at the snowy ground in front of the Seattle temple and seated there, and you use your breathing to make your inner fire arise and your whole body feel hot. That's called the tumo or inner fire meditation. Your whole body is fire. You're not afraid of cold. And for the bhikshuni, you can wear bikinis. And you can also sit in front of the Seattle Lizang Temple to ignite the inner fire. Next winter, during a snowy day, let's all try. And we will check the presence. And don't let anybody escape. With an inhalation and exhalation through the qi, it can help the ignition of the inner fire. And with the breathing in and breathing out, you can make your whole body warm. You can make your whole body like amidst the fire. That's what it talked about here. The increase of the fire qi. Earth, water, fire, and wind is the abiding at the basic position through the methods of Daki Samaya. Where is the basic position? Earth at the navel chakra, water at the heart chakra, fire at the throat chakra, wind at the brow chakra. Those are their basic positions or locations. So if you know how to make use of your fire, you can do so. And in the bodily sensation, one feels the whole body and the skin pores are hot. And the other two is implied as above. The verse, water, qi, the body and hair are cold. After the power of water qi increases and blesses oneself, the body feels cold. In the dream, one dreams of ships in lakes and oceans, and one has the sightings of seeing the 4 great oceans. So water is the light drops. Where? The basic position is at the heart chakra. When the water qi increases, then you would feel cold. And in the dream sensation, you will dream of letting go ships and boats in the lakes and oceans, and you will see the 4 great oceans. And paired with the latter verse, in quotes, the sky and the body and hair are blissful. Due to the increase of the power of the void qi to bless oneself, the bodily sensation is peace, bliss, and content all over the body and skin pores. One is unharmed upon encounter with misery. The mind sensation is primarily the void element, and the dream sensation is free from hindrances. This is the blissful spiritual experiences. So your body and skin pores would feel blissful because the qi increases, the bliss increases. And the bliss and the qi are together, so your whole body and skin pores are blissful. So even when you encounter sufferings and causes of miseries, you are unharmed. And the mind sensation is the void element, and the dream sensation is free from hindrances. And due to the increase of the power of the wind qi to bless oneself, as stated in the verse, in quote, gathering and dispersion, end quote. In the mind sensation, the mind is unabiding suddenly. The continual thoughts gather and disperse, and sleep does not come. If there is a dream, one dreams of levitating, a group of birds flying, and the bodily sensation is like a swift horse. So, if the wind qi increases, where is the basic position for the wind? At the brow point. When the wind qi power increases at the brow point, then the dream sensation is levitating or flying in sky or dreaming of birds flying. And the bodily sensation is like a horse galloping very quickly. Those are all spiritual experiences or sensations of the increase of wind. The three sensations of the earth qi are indirectly expressed as follows: to the increase of the power of the earth qi and the continuum of self-blessings in the bodily sensation, one would feel the body and skin pores feeling unbearably heavy. The mind sensation is seeing golden earth, etc., and all appearance to be yellow. And in the dream sensations, one dreams of weakly walking across vast fields. So the increase of earth qi is you seeing golden earth and your body feels heavy like a mountain. This kind of feeling. The body is very robust and heavy. This kind of sensation will appear. Every appearance to be yellow. And the dream sensation is to walk wobbly across vast field, because he's already stabilized like a mountain. There's a saying to walk like the wind, to sit like a barrel, stand like a pine, and sleep like a bow. That's the bodily dignity. And the next one is the wind. Wind, forest, fire, mountain. That's the spirit of a samurai, because they walk like, or they move like a wind. And lining up in group like forest. When the army is moving like a forest, and fire, in fighting, they are like fire, burning everything. When you occupy the territory, you are stable as the mountain. So wind, forest, fire, mountain. And slightly similar to the earth, water, fire, and wind of the Tantrayana. Have slight resemblance. Due to the terseness of the Vajragata, the verses, there are two kinds of implications in each of the phenomena appearing from the sensation of the fire qi, water qi, void qi, and wind qi, combined with the mind sensation and dream sensation, and the bodily sensation and phenomena. There are also two kinds of implications. And the earth chi, there are 3 kinds of implications for a total of 15 implications. Like I said, when you move, you're like the wind. In a group, lining up like a forest. In fightings, you're like the fire. And in dignity, you're like a mountain. So wind, forest, fire, mountain, they are implications of this earth, water, fire, and wind. There are so many spiritual experiences. Now you know what kind of increase you have. Is it the earth, water, fire, or wind? The guest was the passenger was on a taxi and complained, "It's so boring in your car, no music." Oh, that's very easy. Then why don't you just get a ride in a garbage truck instead? Because Taiwan garbage truck has music. For Elise, I think. And Samantha can play the music of this garbage truck. One time, Sananta played the piano and she played the garbage truck music. Mom asked Xiaomi, "Swimming is good." And Xiaomi said, "You're becoming more and more like a fish." And Mom asked, "Are you saying I'm like a mermaid?" And Xiaomi said, "No, it's just the fish lines at the end of your eyes, which is the wrinkles are getting more and more." Xiaomi was beaten to death by his wife. A woman coming to see a doctor with a swollen face and wounds. And because my husband, what happened? My husband got drunk and beat me. So the doctor gave her medicine and just put it that so that after you fall asleep, then come back a month again. What kind of medicine is that? Because the husband never beat me again. But that's just water. Because you don't need medicine, but you need to shut your mouth. So when the husband comes home drunk, don't say anything, because the more you say, the more you get beaten. So that's why when I give wedding blessing, I always ask, your wife-to-be, does she like to talk? And if you say, no, she doesn't like to talk, oh, congratulations. If you have a wife that doesn't like to talk, oh, you have your peace and quiet. A woman jumped off the 40th floor. She wanted to kill herself, but as soon as she jumped, she regretted it and she prayed, "Oh God, please save me. I would agree to any conditions." And then there was a hand sticking out from the 30th floor and caught her, and then told the woman, "I want to fuck you." And then she kicked him away, and then so he let her go, and she regretted it, and she fell down again, and she regretted and prayed again. And there was another man catching her on the 20th floor, and he said, "I want to fried rice with you," which just means, to fuck you in Taiwanese. And he didn't want that. She didn't want that, and she was let go and fell down again. And then there was another man caught her on the 10th floor, and the man was very handsome. And then she immediately said, "Okay, I want to fuck you." And the man slapped her and said, "Shameless you," and let her down. Let her go, and she continued to fall down. So this shows impermanence, because not all men are the same. Not all men are dumb. There's still one who's smart. Once you study tantric practices, you would know Milarepa. Why could he enter into the primordial naturalness? You can read the Milarepa biography that was written in Zhang Chengzi, PhD, that was in Chinese. If you read Milarepa's biography, then you would respect Milarepa. He's a prodigy. He's a very extraordinary man. Not all men are so dumb. There are also many extraordinary or holy ones too. So therefore, there are many different things in this world. If you think as a spiritual cultivator you're precious, then you really have to be really that precious. Then only then you are part of the Tathagata's 3 jewels. But if you have not reached that, then how? Today I have talked about how to become the 3 jewels. So please cherish it.